Cool. So today we're going to talk about SEO and your first steps of SEO. One of them being Google My Business. We'll touch on. I'm going to take this off. There we go. Now you can see me. I'm not a bandit anymore. So thanks for joining us. It's good to have you all along. Today we're going to be talking about SEO and what it means to your business digitally, and how to get your SEO journey started. So this is a 4-part course. There's a session every week. You'll see the dates and times in the handout if you haven't already responded to them or registered for them. And today we're going to be talking about the Google products. And as you can see, there's a lot of them. We're going to focus on one specifically today, which is called Google My Business, and what that means to your company and your digital footprint. So before we start, let's talk about SEO. I'm going to give you a very high-level overview of what it is. So SEO stands for Search Engine Optimization. What that means in the digital world is it's kind of like the beginning of a Yellow Pages. I don't know if anybody remembers those books that we used to get delivered to our gate, with all the businesses, you know, in your area. Sometimes it was the whole of South Africa. It was sorted A to Z, and it had, you know, all the contact details and things like that. So search engine optimization pretty much works very similarly to the Yellow Pages. So somebody wants to find your business, they generally in South Africa, I'll show you the numbers later, go to Google and they start typing in things that they're looking for. And if any of those words or keywords relate to your business will be shown up on the search page. So somebody's looking for vacuum services near me. If you have a vacuum cleaning company or a cleaning company, you would potentially show up in the list when people are searching it. So search engine optimization is about how you are presented by Google in that first page. So it's little things that you've got to do to your website, to your Facebook page, or any of your social media pages, around keywords that relate to your business and how to use them. So to start that journey, Google has got a whole bunch of free tools, and we will talk about the first one that we would have to set up today, which is Google My Business. So here's a very basic explanation of SEO. It's the magic you work on your website, blog, your article, whatever product you've got, in order to make Google include your post or your product in any search that somebody's using those keywords. So that's known as an organic listing. I'm talking now about using search engine optimization organically, not through paid media like Google ads and Bing ads and Facebook ads. I'm talking about being found organically. So you don't have to pay for this. This is free. My sessions cover Google My Business today. We will talk about Search Console next week. The following week, we start talking about Google Analytics, and then how to set up ads and things like that in the last session. So let's talk about Google My Business. So this is where you start. So I'm going to kind of take you through what Google My Business is. Obviously, I'm sharing this presentation with you guys afterwards. You don't have to take too many notes. Everything's in here. It's a step-by-step guide on how to set up Google My Business for the first time. It's quite simple. I mean, firstly, why do you want to use Google My Business? Number one, it's free. Anybody can use it. Any business, any company, any individual can use Google My Business if you're running a business. So in South Africa, in the world actually, 77% of any search traffic is on Google. So what does that mean? Like I mentioned earlier, people, when they're looking for something, the first place they go to generally is Google. So you open a browser and you type in google.co.za or google.com, and then you do your investigation. So this being a Google tool, if you have a Google My Business, as you can see in the picture on the phone, it's got all the information that anybody looking for you or any of the services that you offer may need. So when you're open, where you're based, have you got a website, do you have a contact number, and a whole bunch of other things which we'll touch on as we go through the presentation today. The one thing, and I'm sure we've all done this, is like I mentioned, if you're looking for a vacuum service or a cleaning service, generally Google will, while you're typing the search, will add near me. So basically what it does is, because of the functionality that your phone has and puts out to Google, it shares your location if you haven't switched it off. And it will give you search results in the area for what you're looking for, which is quite nifty. So, you know, what else does Google My Business? Why is it important for you? So it's a way to find new customers for free. It's a way to list your business. It's a way to let people know what's happening in your business online. So if you've got a bunch of followers and you want to post a new picture of an event or something that you're planning on doing, like a sale or a special that you want to run, you know, this is a good place to start and post these things. As you can see there, 3.5 billion searches are done in a day on Google. And Google My Business will help you be seen in one of these searches. So let's talk about setting it up. So I got to iterate this in the beginning. We all have Gmail accounts. We all have personal Gmail accounts, which is great. We use it for various things, sharing documents, reading email, whatever the case is. When you start with Google My Business, my very first suggestion to you is create a new account. Maybe you might, like, I have a personal Gmail account, which is renato.dequcinis@gmail.com, and I use it for various things, but personal related things. From a business perspective.
Renato, sorry to interrupt you. Your slides are not changing, so we're still on the first one.
On the first one?
Yeah, the digital marketing first one.
Let me. I'm going to stop sharing and I'm going to share it again. Can you see the new one now?
Yes, there we go. Thank you.
Okay, let me just change it and let me know if you see the new screen. I'm just going to flick it back and forth. Are they changing?
Yes, perfect. Thank you.
Okay, cool. So, sorry about that, guys. So the first thing, like I said, I'd suggest is create a Gmail account for your business. So our business is called Barrel Group. So I have a Gmail address called barrel@gmail.com. And it's a way to separate your personal life from your business. So when you create this account, if you stick around for all 4 sessions, you'll see how we use that account for your business specifically. So create yourself a new Gmail account, call it whatever you like, but it's related to your business. You're going to be using that account to set up Google My Business. You'll use it to set up your analytics accounts, your ads accounts, anything that's relating to Google around your business and your SEO. And also set up the 2-factor authentication if you can, just to kind of keep your data safe. It's free security, and if you set it up and you've got Gmail on your phone, every time you try and sign in and it asks you to authenticate after you've typed in your password, a message will pop up on your phone and saying, "Is this you?" And you just say yes, and off you go. It'll allow you to log in. Cool. So this is for you guys when you get the presentation. So there's the link to create your new account. Quite easy. I'm not going to ponder on this slide for too long. You can see the slide, by the way, Tracy.
Hello, please. Can I ask you? I don't know if it's my problem here, but I can hear you very badly. I can't hear you clearly. Is there something wrong my side, Renato? Sorry.
I don't know. I'm using a headphone with a microphone on it.
Thank you. Sorry. Sorry.
We can hear you.
Yeah, I can hear you now better. Thank you. Thank you.
All right. All right. Cool. Okay. So cool. So this is setting up a Gmail account. That's up to you guys. Let's talk about.
Renato, while you were answering a question, can I ask you about security issues around Gmail? Or do you want the questions at the end?
I can take questions throughout. It doesn't matter. I'm not perturbed. So what security? How's the security for Gmail?
But are there security issues with Gmail and the Popular Act?
I actually don't know. Well, it depends what you're using it for. Are you using it for saving people's data? Or
I'm using my database, and if I have to send out group emails on with the Drive, with Google Drive.
You know what? I think they've got fantastic security, and I'm sure they subscribe to things that are far better than the Poppy Act, like GDPR. So, yeah, okay. I think their security should be pretty decent.
Thank you.
Excuse me. Cool. Okay, so let's talk about Google My Business, setting it up. So there's a link on the bottom left of the page, which you can click on, or you can type in if you like. It'll bring up a page that looks very similar to what you see here. If you don't have a Google My Business set up, which I'm assuming you don't, you are going to click on Start Now, and it's going to ask you to type in your business name and do a search for it, something like this. And then if it doesn't find your business, it'll then start taking you through this process of creating a new Google My Business profile. So obviously it's going to ask you for your business name. If it does find your business, you might have to rename your business a little bit differently. Like if you've got a double barrel name where there's two words, you might, and you find somebody with a similar business name, you might have to put a dash or an underscore or something to that effect in. Or if that business is not live, or if it doesn't exist, you could potentially reach out to that person and say, can I have your business on Google My Business? So that's also an option. Let's talk about it being brand new. So obviously you put in your business name, you add the services that you kind of fit into, and there's a lot of categories that Google offers off the bat. If you can't find something that relates to what you or your business does, you can add your own in as well, which is quite nice. It then asks, where are you based? So there's two ways you can do this. I'd suggest putting in all your details in the beginning, fill in your address, put all that stuff in. Later on, if you like most of us these days are not really working from an office, we're working from home. If you don't want your home address to be published, you can take that link out. You can say, don't show my address later. But in the interim, put your address in, and it would be best if the address that you've got can accept mail, snail mail from the post office. And I'll explain to you why in a little bit. So fill in all your details, follow the process. It asks, do you serve customers outside your location? So I have a web store, and my web store is, anybody in South Africa can buy from it. So yes, I would mark that yes. I also serve people outside my location, so I don't just serve them in Gauteng. I serve the whole of South Africa. Obviously your address, wherever that location is. Let's go next. And add the services that you offer, whatever that is. Then a phone number is quite handy to have, even if it's your cell phone number. Preferably a landline would be better. So why that is there is if people are looking for you, Google puts a link in your website, in your Google My Business page, that people can click while they're searching for you on their phone or while they're in the car, that they can just touch, which allows them to automatically pick up, make a phone call from their phone. So it's good to have your phone number in there. If you have a website, put your website details in. If you don't have a website, I'll show you a little bit later that Google does offer you the ability to put a fairly basic website together. And you won't have your own address like I'd have barrel.co.za. You wouldn't have that, but the option is available for you to do that if you buy a domain through Google. And then that's it, finish your listing. So that's fairly simple. I think then the next thing you're going to do is you're going to have a message that kind of says, verify your business. And this is the tricky part today, because obviously with COVID and all the countries being shut down and, you know, getting connected through the old-fashioned route of post offices is not really working. So there's a way, I'll ask Tyrell to post in the group chat, there's a way to get past this. You can actually contact Google directly and ask them to verify your business online. Because usually you'd get like a little postcard with, you know, fancy Google colors on it with your name and your address and everything on it. This is why I said put your address in. This postcard arrives. When you open it, it's got a code in. And once you've got that code, you can verify your business. Once you get to that point, Google will publish your Google My Business profile for anybody to see. Up until then, you will be the only one that can see your profile. So there we go. Tyrell's just posted the link. That's a direct link to Google Help and Google Assistance. Just bear in mind, when you do talk to them, when you do connect, it's basically like an email system. You're not going to talk to them off the bat. They're going to ask you a couple of questions. They're going to ask you a few questions about your business, and then you submit your request. Watch your business Gmail account that you just created for emails from them. They generally give you 24 hours to respond. If you don't respond in 24 hours, they cancel your calls, and you've got to start the process all over again. So in that email, they might ask you some personal questions about, can you send us pictures of the outside of your building? Can you send us pictures of the inside of your building? That kind of thing. Can you send us a picture of, you know, a plaque or you know, one of those boards with your business name on it inside? You know, you can create those kind of things. They look at the photos that you send, and they look at the tags and the metadata of your photo to verify that you actually are the owner of the business. And there's a few other questions that they'll ask. So bear that in mind. Any questions so far? Looks good. Cool. So let's move to the next slide. So this is kind of what the finished product looks like. You'll be presented with a page very similar to this. It might look a little bit different, obviously, with the things that you've added, and you won't have things like reviews. You won't have, excuse me, views, searches, and activity yet, because obviously you haven't verified your business. But this is the homepage that you will land on once you've finished setting it all up. And I will take you through a live demo. So these people, Abacus Locksmith is one of our customers, and they've allowed us to, you know, show you guys up their profile, and they've been running it for a few years now. And I'll take you through what it looks like. So I'm going to stop sharing this presentation, and I will share another part of my screen. I'm just going to find it quickly. Give me a second. Sorry about that. There it is. I think that's it. Yep. Can you see that? Doesn't look like I'm sharing the right screen.
Can see it but can't read it. It's too small.
But you can see the little Abacus van and the add photo and the create post and that kind of thing.
With a little bit of imagination.
Cool. It doesn't look like I'm sharing what I'm supposed to be sharing though. So if I zoom in, is that a bit better?
Yes, that's better. Thank you.
Don't have to imagine.
There we go. So this is your home screen. Obviously, this is live. And every so often, Google will post little messages like this about your business and ask you a few questions, and it helps you update your profile with information. Sometimes at the bottom over here where this says reviews, you'll say, well, there we go. Complete your business profile. 85% kind of is a good percentage. Getting to 100% is not always easy. So while you're going through the process, if you click on any of these links over here, it will take you to kind of do that. These guys don't have a logo, so this is why they're not 100%. So this is basically the front view. On the left-hand side is a list of things that you can have a look at to help you complete this, setting up your profile. I think the first thing we're going to go to is into info, and this is all about your business. So how do people get hold of you? How do people know where you are, when you're open, so you can change your address if you want people to visit you. You can tell them which areas you work in, what your operating hours are, if you've got any special hours, if you're open 24/7, for example. What are your contact details? And this is for your eyes only. This is just a reference. If you've got more than one Google My Business, so let's say you've got a string of shops and you've got one in Joburg, one in Pretoria, one in Cape Town, you can rename this for each one, and so you know what the differences are between the three of them. Obviously your website, and if you offer the ability for people to make appointments with you online, you can put in your details here. Add your products. So these guys obviously offer services. They got products, but there's nothing that they wanted us to put on here. And those products could be anything. You could sell stuff that you make at home, or you could sell other products, electronics, whatever it is. And then accessibility and amenities, that's obviously up to your business. You know, do you support wheelchair access? Do you have Wi-Fi, etc. And a little bit about your business, and if you want to add, how long you've been around. So that's the info you're going to need, excuse me, for your business. Wouldn't worry about these. I think we're all starting businesses, or we got fairly new businesses. So unless you're planning to close it, this is how you would obviously get rid of your profile, taking it offline. You'll still have access to your data. Google will ask you if you want to download all your information before they delete it if you do use any of these buttons.
Renato, please can I ask you to share the link of the page that you're on in the chat? And Trevor has a problem.
Okay.
He has uploaded a logo, but it does not show. So Trevor, if you'd like to just unmute yourself and ask Renato more about it, please.
Thanks, Tracy. Hi, Renato.
Hi, Trevor.
Yeah, as Tracy said, I uploaded a logo,
Yep.
and on the back end, it actually, I think it shows that I've uploaded it,
Okay.
but no one can see it. If you go to my profile as a user, there is no logo.
Okay, so is your profile verified?
Yes.
Have you got the code and you filled it all in? And
Yep.
under the photos page, did you mark that as a logo?
Yeah, if I go there now, just give me 1 second. Yes,
Cool.
I did, and it actually has there. It shows the photos that I've uploaded, and then the first two, it's got one labeled as a cover and it's got one labeled as a logo.
Okay, and what is it showing? Nothing.
No. Here, because this is me
No,
logged
I
in.
get
And
it.
but if you go to the page, if you find me on, anyone that finds me on, through Google Maps or whatever it is, the page comes up, but there is no logo.
What am I searching for, Trevor?
It's gadget store, one word.
GODG. Why is it not working now? My keyboard stopped working.
Or I'll paste the link. Just give me 1 second.
That's okay. Is this it?
Hang on one sec. Let me, sorry, I just had my other screen up. Yeah, that's it.
Okay. Okay, cool. Is this not your logo?
Sorry?
Is this not your logo? You
No.
see what I mean?
Is it? Wow.
This one over here?
You know what? I'm terribly sorry it is.
That's
I
okay.
hadn't looked.
This is why we're here,
actually
so we can
in a while.
we
But
can teach you
that
about
is
it.
Sorry?
Cool. No, this is why we're here, so we can take you through
Excellent. Okay, so it is showing.
various
Great.
things.
Thank you.
Okay, cool. So while we're on this page, let's talk about photos. So like Trevor was saying, you uploaded a logo. This page allows you to do that. So you can choose a photo for your logo. You can drag it in, or if you've already got an album, you can kind of select a picture from the album to tag it as a logo. So if you select it, you can actually set it as a logo once you've kind of sorted it out and made it look the way you want it to do. You can make this bigger and smaller. I'm not going to do that because that's not their logo. If you've got like a walkthrough of your business, if you've got a store that, you know, you've got shelves and tables and whatever else, you can upload a little video here, or you can just put in pictures of, you know, what the inside of your shop or business looks like. So somebody at reception, you know, the reception view with your branding on the wall, and all of these things will help the verification process as well. So when you ask for verification, you know, they're going to want to see some of those photos and information about your business. So you can obviously add all kinds of videos, pictures about your team, what it looks like in your office, what do you guys do at work. So you could be out at a function and you can you know, put pictures about what's happening at the function, the outside of your building, the inside of your building. So it's quite enough. You can add plenty of photos. The one thing that you got to remember is as you add photos, the newer ones are displayed in your profile because there's a limitation on how many they actually display initially. So if we go back to that search, and I'm just going to do advocates.
Can I ask a question?
Yes.
So yeah, sorry, I'm in property, and
Yep.
we sell property. So I don't actually own the company, but obviously, if I wanted to set up a Google My Business for myself personally, would I need to own the company that I'm advertising, or if I'm advertising myself, would that be okay?
You can do both. What you can create your own profile, your Google My Business profile. There is a way to associate yourself to the actual business as well. Then you're going to obviously need, whoever owns the business Google My Business profile will have to approve that. But that's a discussion you can obviously have with them.
Okay, so I couldn't just open it by myself and use the company's website as my reference. I would actually have to show some paperwork or...
No, well, you don't have to show paperwork. I mean, if you work for the company and you have a discussion with them to say, this is what I want to do, would you mind if I used your website, etc.? You know, that's, if they say it's cool, then off you go. And I'm assuming that your Google My Business profile will have your name in it rather than the business. It will be, what's it, Neil Sachs from whichever business you're at, right?
Yeah, exactly. So if they could go online and check that I'm advertising properties under that company. I could send screenshots and so on. Would that be okay?
Absolutely. Yep.
Okay.
Awesome.
Hey, thanks.
You're welcome. Cool. Okay, so let's have a look. So we've done pictures. We've filled in the information. Let's assume that you now have received your verification. Your Google My Business is verified. It's live. You can start posting on the page, and you can start viewing, who's actually coming onto your page, who's looking for you, how they're finding you. You can start responding to messages. If people are trying to contact you, you can add products, you can add your services. So this goes a bit further than the initial setup. Let's go and have a look at posts, and I'll work our way down the list. So, as you can see at the top here, you can post things about COVID-19. You can add an offer. You can add an update. So an update is kind of like a general, things are happening in the business. You're running a sale, or there's a special event happening, and an offer that speaks for itself. An event is obviously it speaks for itself, and then if you've got a product, one thing you got to understand is I've got a question here which I'm going to answer now, Cherry, about how often you must post. This post will expire after 7 days. So once you've posted it, 7 days later, it's time to post a new post, whatever it is, an offer. You could also edit the post and repost it again. But posting once a week is I'd say the minimum if you want your business to be found. But you can post every day if you like. That's posting more than once a day it's not a bad thing, but you don't have to spend so much time on it. Then that's posts. So the one thing I wanted to mention about posts is, and Sherry and I have spoken a lot about this, is if you want to automate this, there's a couple of packages that you can kind of use which are free, and Tyrell will post it in the group for us. Things like Hootsuite, Recur Post, Postfitty, and Buffer. It allows you to plan like up to 30 days on a free account. Most of them will allow you to plan up to about 30 days in advance and 6 or 7 posts. So you could potentially do one a week. They'll automatically go and post at a certain time, a certain day, that you set it up as. So it's quite handy. So have a look at those as well. Again, free. So you can sit once a month, plan your posts for the month, stick them in these tools, and then you don't have to worry about it for the rest of the month. You've done your marketing from a Google My Business perspective. Okay, info we've touched on. So let's have a look at insights. So this is about, the profile. So you can kind of see how many people were searching for your business, and that gives you different numbers. How many people went directly to your Google My Business profile, how many people looked through something that you've done. So you might have done an ad or a post or an email shot or something like that. And then how many people have discovered you just by looking for the services that you offered. Then it kind of gives you, where do people come from and what are they looking for when they come to your site. So these guys have obviously got an office, and we've put a link on their Google My Business profile with their address. So it's like I mentioned earlier, if you're on your phone in your car and you say, locked it near me, I've locked myself out of my car, their Google My Business profile comes up, and you can either phone them or you can get directions from the Google My Business profile. If this person's lucky enough to get into their car and needs a new key cut, you can follow the Google Maps directions from your phone to the business. Shows you the actions that people performed on your profile. Did they visit your website? Did they ask for the directions? Did they call you? And it kind of gives you a number of how many people actually phoned them directly from Google My Business, how many people asked for directions. So I hope by now you can realize the benefit of Google My Business. You don't have to hand out phone numbers and business cards anymore. All your information is available on Google My Business for anybody to see. Then it also shows, where people are coming from, who's asked for directions in and around where your business is. So where you set up us, I only work in the following regions. So these guys, they work in this area, but they are not averse to work outside the area, and they can kind of see, well, hang on, maybe I should broaden my wings a bit and start letting people in this area know that I actually work here. So if somebody in Alex, for example, says, I need a locksmith near me, their Google My Business profile will show up. So it kind of gives you an idea of where your customers are coming from. And then there's a breakdown of, when are they getting the most calls? What are the times? You can dig into this. There's a little bit of information on what this is. What's nice about Google, they've got these little help things everywhere. Unfortunately, it becomes a lot of reading, but the help is there. If you're not sure, you don't understand, it shows you, these people obviously like photos. And then it also shows you a little comparison for businesses like yours, how many times they've put photos up and how many times people have interacted with them. Okay, they don't have any photo quality. So this is the kind of information the insights you can receive from Google My Business, and it gives you an idea of where, your customers are coming from, where they viewing you from, what are they doing from your Google My Business, what actions are they taking, useful information. This that we're going to talk about now is extremely important. Reviews. So the more reviews you have on your Google My Business profile, the better. So it shows credibility, it shows that you're an actual business, and it shows you, other people tell your potential customers about you. The one thing I must say is, if you do get, you should monitor these regularly, respond to them. If you get bad reviews, don't take them the wrong way, and definitely respond to them. We're all human beings, and it's humans that run businesses. We make mistakes. We can't please everybody. We know this. And if you ignore the negative, people will get the feeling that, if you don't care too much about your business, you're not there to kind of improve. People read into all of these things, and all the things that people say. So thankfully, these guys have not had a bad review in a while, but definitely if you do have a bad review, respond to it. Just that response goes an extremely long way, not just for the person that's giving you the bad review. I mean, if you respond to them and you can give them the kind of answer or service that they were expecting, they can come back and change their review and their star rating for you. So very, very, very important. This review count weighs very heavily on your search engine optimization project. So you can share your review page with people. You can share them. You can share a link. So I mean, if you've dealt with a customer, you sold them a product, you provided a service, when you're finished, you can drop them an email with the link to Google My Business and say, please tell us what you thought. How did we help you? Were you happy with the assistance? Whatever the case is, you're happy with the product, please give us a quick review. It literally takes 30 seconds for them to click a star and maybe write 2 or 3 words if they're up to it. But that little review goes a long, long, long way. How? No, don't delete bad reviews, Shireen. Don't ever do that. You need the bad reviews. Unless you're constantly getting bad reviews, that says something else. So the bad reviews, like I said, shows people that you're a business, you're a human being. We all make mistakes. And how you respond to that will also give your new potential customers insight into who and how you are and how you kind of run your business and what the business means to you as an individual. So don't delete bad reviews. How do you share a link? I'm going to go back to the home page, and there is a link over here somewhere. Here we go. So there's share your business profile, and there's share a review form. So I will show you what it looks like. You get a little link. You can share on Facebook, Twitter, WhatsApp, even send it via an email. I'm going to copy the link. When they get it, this is what they'll get. Because I'm on it. So there we go. And then you can write a review. Sherry, thank you for writing a great review. Simple as that. If a person does give a review, is he deemed to have given permission to share his info, read the pop here? So Google is an open platform. It's not locked. It's not password protected. So they are, yes. So it's not your data. It's their own data. And they are reviewing openly about your business. Sherry asks, can you ask people on Messenger to write a review by posting that link? Absolutely. Yes, you can share that link anywhere you like, not just by the options they're giving you. There is a link. You can copy and paste it into whichever platform you like. Okay, so that's reviews. Messages. So there's a little app that you can get on your phone that kind of makes you available 24/7. It's called the Messenger app, and people can communicate directly with you. And have any questions, you know, they can contact you through Messenger directly, and you can have a conversation with them. That conversation could turn into a sale, it could turn into a phone call, it could, you know, whatever it is. There is a way to communicate directly with your customers from Google without even having them visit your website, or, you know, making a phone call, or even visiting your shop. Handy to have. I think eventually you'll learn how to manage it. You can turn it on and off. Certain times you can be available. Certain times of the day you can have your messenger available from 8 to 5 or 4 to 6 or whatever the case is when you're available. If you do use it, try and respond within an hour. It's just, again, it's back to credibility, human interaction, and obviously after an hour, people will have lost interest in your business. And if you do respond, you may not get a response back after that. Let's talk about products. So you can add products on here. I'll see if we can take you through what it looks like. So you can stick in a picture, you can stick in your name, the product name. You can choose a category that it falls under, and this will generally be the category that you've selected when you first set up your profile. You can give it your own product category. That helps you with examples. So if you're not sure, you can select, is it a price range or is it a set price? You can put a description about the product, and then you can choose how people attain your product. So if you select buy, you can you'll open the option to put in a link, and you can send them to your website, which is hopefully an e-commerce type store where you can accept payments. They can learn more. Again, you can send them directly to the product on your website. Order online if you have purchase facilities anywhere, so like Facebook or Buy or wherever your product is situated, you can put a link directly to your product. So that's how you set up a product. Quite easy, and you can set up quite a few products if you like. Is there a way to pull all my products through in bulk from my website or an Excel spreadsheet, etc.? I'm not aware of one. And I wouldn't want to put all the products on your profile. I'd probably put the top sellers, anything you got on sale, because you want to attract the people to your website in the shortest possible way, with the least inconvenience, if you like. If you have all your products, you know, they're going to have a look at all your products on Google, and then they may never get to your website, which kind of makes your website irrelevant, which is not what you want. So I'm sure it costs you a lot of money to set up your website, and you want it to do the job that you paid for. So you want to attract the people to your website rather than not. I think if you put all your products on Google My Business, maybe what you do if you're selling a lot of products, Trevor, is put categories in of products that you offer, and maybe put like a generic picture about that category. So like consumer electronics, you might have like a TV and a hi-fi system or speakers or whatever it is, photo, you know, like a camera, generic photo. So people click on that, you can take them directly to the category on your website. rather than put all the products. That's I wouldn't say it's a no-no, but it's, you know, to make it easier for people to find you and get to your website, you know, rather put less on to attract them to your website rather than chase them away. Services, same kind of thing. If you offer any services and you don't sell products, you know, you can add all your services in. You can see there's a whole lot of things that they do. And there's I think these in the yellow are recommendations that Google or somebody that has joined or viewed our profile has said, you know, do you guys do security, you know, whatever these things in, whatever the services are, and you can kind of accept these changes if you want, if it is something that you do. Somebody might have mentioned in a post that, you know, these guys helped me with setting up my alarm and connecting my gate to my alarm system, whatever it is. So they did some security consulting. So you can kind of accept or decline the changes. But these will obviously be different to what you have. You can add services. There is a limitation here, but you can generalize and you know, keep it down to a small group of services that you offer. Then I mentioned the website. It gives you a basic look and feel kind of website. Everything that you put in, all the information you've added into home post, info, you know, your reviews, any messages, photos, and things like that, it'll pull it in automatically. And no one's created this website. This is what Google offers you. If you wanted to buy the domain, you can buy the domain. At the moment, this is the website that Google offers you. So if you wanted people to come and visit your website, this is the address that you'd use. If you don't want to pay for like a WordPress website or hosting and all that kind of stuff, they do offer you the facility, but it's very basic. It's probably easy to set up. I mean, you can add photos, you can edit the text, you can do a few other things. And then down to users, you can kind of manage who can or can't see and edit your profile. I won't talk about these just yet because we will talk about these in the next sessions. If you manage more than one business, you know, you can see them all in one page. We manage more than one business, so so I can see our own. I can see any of our customers that we have on this profile, and then you can create groups and things like that. So your group could be Cape Town or Western Cape, Gauteng, and you can group your businesses if you have different pages into each of those groups. So that is Google My Business in a nutshell. I see I've answered a few questions. If there's any more, please shout.
Can I ask, please, in America, thank you. Yep. In America, when was this introduced? How far behind are we?
Google My Business?
You know? Yes.
It's been around for a long time. I don't know when it was introduced.
How long
is long? For very long.
Okay, in America?
10, 15, 20 years.
Wow.
As old as Google is.
Okay.
So it's been around for a long time.
So
this is the one thing I found. I used to work for IBM, and I see it's the same with Google, and I see it's the same with Microsoft. Their best kept secrets nobody ever knows about, and these are secrets, really good secrets that they're hiding away from everybody.
Thank you.
Yep.
So we are not we didn't get this the same time they did, like TV, etc. We are lagging behind a lot.
I wouldn't say that. No, I mean, as long as we've had the internet, we've probably had access to a lot of these things. I mean, the internet evolves on a daily basis, so things change. I mean, Google My Business has been around for a while. I can't tell you when it was, you know, when it was incepted. Let's have a look.
Thank you.
No worries.
Hi, Renato.
Google. Yes.
Are you going to teach us use of keywords in blogs and on the website that it gets picked up better? Like I write all this stuff and I would like to
Yes.
learn how to optimize it.
Absolutely. So, well, I'm not going to dig into your website. So
No, but just like teaching on keywords, how to use that in blogs and that it gets picked up.
absolutely. So we will be doing that, I think, in the 3rd or 4th session.
Okay.
So yes, I'll show you how to find keywords and not so much use them, but find the best keywords for you to use, and I'll show you what tools Google offers. And there's many tools.
Awesome.
We'll focus on Google.
Okay. Thank you.
Then I'm just going to answer a question from Charlie Brett. Is there any substitute for reviews? My business involves selling hearing aids. My patients average 75. So yes, there are. So there's a website called Blue Peter. I think it's called Blue Peter. That's one of them. Blue Peter. I think it's Blue Peter. Blue Peter.
Renato, are you not thinking of Hello Peter?
Hello Peter, yes. That's another place where you can go look up businesses to see what people are saying about their business, a business. So when I'm looking to buy something and I find it on my website I've never ever seen before, I would come to a Hello Peter. I would look up Google reviews to find how people have found the experience with the business. So there is another way.
Your headphones and your laptop are half on my side.
Renato, we have a question from Sherry. She said, how can you ask recipients to rate your business on Google My Business?
So I showed earlier how to get the link. Sherry, so what you do is you take that link and you can either send them an email or you can send them a WhatsApp.
Okay, whatever, babe, I need to listen to this, please.
Whichever way you communicate with your customers, you can send them the link and just ask them to spend 30 seconds on giving your business a rating. So you share the link. Let me see, I think I forgot reviews. So on the front page of Google My Business, you've got that either share your business profile or share the review form. How do you get the email addresses? If they're a customer of yours, I mean, you can't ask somebody to review that you don't know.